Hey, estimate students of metal fabrication, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, all grades. Just wanted to pause, talk with you. I'm here in my home shop on our spring break or vacation time. I've got myself in the shop making some things for some friends I'm going to visit, outdoors obviously. But I wanted to say to you, students, that while you're in the shop, the number one goal is to create and is to be safe. Even when I'm not in front of you, I have my earmuffs. I've got my custom earplugs from the VA, very expensive earplugs, but I've got to save what little hearing that the chief has left from the military. Obviously, safety glasses, gloves, and my boots. so I wanted to just talk briefly about some things and the journey and the value of having a shop, collecting tools, welding machines, metalworking equipment, but specifically blacksmithing. And blacksmithing takes very little equipment to get you going. You need a forge, you need a vise, and it could be just a regular engineering vise that goes on, a bench vise. You can use a ball peen hammer and a set of tongs. And my tongs, I'd like to talk briefly. Those are my first tongs that I made some 25 years ago. Blacksmith helped me, named George Martell out of Seekonk, Massachusetts, Martell's Metalworks. Not the most greatest set of tongs that you could see, but it gets the job done, and I still use them to this day. Got better making a set of what they call rat tail tongs, so scrolling tongs. So I've got better in my years in forging. So when you're making mistakes and you're disappointed in your iron work and it doesn't come out the way you thought it should, just pause. It is a journey, and it is enjoy the journey as you arrive to the destination, as they say. Another set of old tongs that I made, that's for picking your ironwork out of the fire. They call them picking tongs. A set of tongs I made to modify for a project that I was doing. Many times you'll get commissioned to do a project and you'll have to make the tooling or the fixturing for the project. Sometimes there were tongs that I purchased. These set of tongs, I took a pair of vice grips with paddles on them because these are my tongs that I use to pull my fireplace doors when I hand forge them. So I pull the screen tight and then I drive a rivet through. You notice you can't take those tongs on a screen, you would ruin it. This was another set of tongs I modified. They were much longer. I cut them down short for a project. So as you progress and you're making and you're getting commissions and projects that people are willing to pay, you'll make your tooling and you'll modify your tools for the project. A set of dividers, if you will, made those actually up at Fitchburg Forging, I think. But a good example of a discipline on flat stock and how to forge it, how to rivet it. Later on, you just put your initials on it. So a good set of disciplines to making projects. And I'd like to bring your attention to a project that I've been doing today. As I visit people, I bring them small presents. And that's the great thing about being a blacksmith artisan. You get a chance to bring things that are handcrafted and then not bought in a box store or something like that, or a card store. It has much more meaning and purpose when you make something that is handmade. This is a good example, folks, of a discipline of a piece of 3/8 round stock. There's spreading, there's drawing out, there's scrolling, there's hammer control, there's chisel work in here, and there's heat control. So a good example of what you can do with a small piece of stock that turns out to be very artistic. I'll put a key ring on that. I'll wrap it up in some tissue paper and give that to a friend of mine. I asked you when you're putting a finish on it, and it's going to be indoors, you want to use a type of an oil. If it's going to be touching any kind of human contact, you would never want to use motor oil, linseed oil, beeswax. All those have elements that are harmful to our bodies. But if you go in the kitchen and you get olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil, any kind of oil that we digest in the kitchen is perfectly fine. And I use that on my projects. I just wipe them down. Some people say you could do it hot. I know that's an approach that you can use, or a technique. I just use it cold, and then you just kind of give it a luster sort of look to it. So then you have a really neat project once it's finished, and you wire brush it. I use a very traditional wire brush that's very rigorous, or you can use a power wire brush or whatever. But if I'm doing fireplace doors or gates that require mechanical fastening, if you put a hardware store bolt and washer on it, it's going to be standing out as an ordinary. It's very strange to have a mechanical bolt on something that has been completely hand forged, and you have artistic artisan elements to it, and then you put a mechanical bolt on there. Something that doesn't really go. What I do is I get a regular lag bolt that I buy at a hardware store. I heat that up with a torch to get that galvanized off. You don't want to put galvanized in the forge. It's very toxic to your body. And then from there, I take a 1-inch piece of square stock. I cut a sliver, and then I drill a hole. I take a bolt, a lag bolt, or a mechanical bolt, if you will, and then I put that together. The way I do that is I made a jig. Once again, blacksmiths are always making their own tools, their own fixtures, their own jigs to make a project. So I make a jig that fits down inside here, square piece of stock that puts into my vise, and I'm able to hammer into that and create that artistic element that carries a form and function for a mechanical fastening in a gate or a fireplace door or a chandelier or whatever that might be. So it's very, very important that you keep the artistic element, but yet it has form and function to it. So as I continue on, I want to talk to you about disciplines. Everything right here, I made this some years ago, and it kind of gives you a good perspective of every element that is used in blacksmithing. Scrolling, upsetting, leaf making, twisting, splitting, drawing out, twisting again, even making a handle. So this is a good example of all the elements that are made in a blacksmith have been doing it since really the beginning of time. If you can go back to the 9th or 10th century without electricity, blacksmiths were very familiar with what they were doing then, because they do very traditional stuff. Now we incorporate plasma cutters and welding machines and gas forges and electricity and power grinders right now. But our heritage, if you will, the lineage back to a blacksmith is doing very traditional work like you see here. So as I continue talking to you, I'm in my shop. I'm enjoying it. It's a way to have a little bit of peace, and I call it active meditation, where I'm calming, I'm relaxed, I'm in an element, I'm making things, I'm totally involved in what I'm thinking about doing, I'm safe, and I have a little bit of music on, I have my shop, and it's a way of passing time that I enjoy. So whether it's physical fitness, cycling, swimming, running, going to the gym, doing push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups, all that stuff from the military. But this is an element of relaxation and active meditation. So I'd like to sort of continue to think about fixturing and jigs, something that fits right into my anvil. Anvil was bought some 25 years ago, from 1861, so it's a Civil War period anvil. It's about a 325-pound anvil, solid rock. So I've made fixturing to where I can scroll onto that. This is called the Hardy hole. That's called the Pritchell hole. This is the face, this is the cutting edge, and that's the horn. Those are terminology that blacksmiths use all over the world and parts of the anvil. It's very important that you understand that. Next, another fixture I made. Lots of times I forge bowls. So I took a piece of pipe and I forged a ring around it by hammering it, and that fits down inside of my anvil, and I'm able to sort of hammer with a round hammer and make a bowl. I really only use about a quarter of that diameter, but I use that as I'm sinking any kind of bowl. Could be copper, could be bronze, could be iron, whatever that might be. Another fixture, these are called scrolling tongs, where you can put your stock in here and you can actually bend it. So it's just basically really simple, getting a piece of 1 1/4 inch round stock, getting some 1/2 inch or 5/8 round, welding it on, and then I'm able to do my scrolling with this. Another fixture, it's called a guillotine, if you will. So it's, you're allowed to put round stock in here. If you're trying to neck down something, this is a good piece of a fixture that fits in my anvil pretty well. Another fixture I made for making fireplace doors some years ago, where I use an offset. So I'm able to sort of put this into my anvil, come in here, have a nice handle on here, if you will, and you can actually drop your hot iron in there, drop your top fixture and hit that, and it will give you that offset automatically, so you can put your fireplace screen doors together. Another fixture here is for when I make my dragons or any kind of carving, artistic stuff in the vise. I'm able to put that in there and put your piece in here, and I'm able to create with all these punches I'm about to show you. So as I keep moving along, students, anytime you come across tooling that looks like this on the end, that's a sign that is usually about a 1095 high carbon steel. So it's got about 95 points of carbon in it. You can heat treat it. You can make it into a usable tool, and you can see here that I do a lot of that. So if you come across tools that look like that, that is one sure sign that is going to be high carbon steel. And of course you can put that on the pedestal grinder and use the spark test, but your sight test should see that there's a shank on here, and that shank was for a jackhammer, so you know that that's going to be some high carbon steel. So over the years I've made all kinds of punches and chisels that I've used in all my projects. And once again, if you look on the bottom half, it came from a jackhammer, sort of a rental place. So I went in, there was a bucket of these. I asked the owner, hey, what are you doing with that bucket of old tools? He goes, we're throwing it out. They're cracked, they're broken, they're no good, they don't fit anymore. And I said, can I have them? He goes, why would you want them? I said, because I'm going to make tools out of them. He goes, well, the tool's no good. So I brought those back to my shop, and I was able to sort of heat treat those and forge them out and make all kinds of tooling that I use in my chisel work that I do. Once again, more tooling here. So if you look at things that you're going to use in blacksmithing, where you want to sort of make it as artistic as possible, sometimes it requires some force, some heating, and some hammering. So I asked you, if you come across stuff that looks like that, that's a sure sign that you can use that and make your own tooling. Once again, this is a good example, students, that the chief has made about 35, 40 years ago. I took it looked like a hexagon, an octagon. I knew that was high carbon steel. I put it on a pedestal grinder when I was in the Navy, and I've been using that as a center punch ever since. I heat treated it and made it into a usable tool. You've done heat treating with the chief back at Assabet. It's really important to understand heat treating and making tooling and welding and martensite and perlite, austenite, and normalizing, quenching, tempering, all those terminology, if you will, or heat treating and metallurgy, which is the essence of understanding material science while you're a welder and a fabricator and a blacksmith. With that said, students, I want to say, continue to collect tools, continue to understand the value in your tools, continue to make your own tools, whether it be a pair of tongs, whether it be a chisel or a punch or a scribe, whatever that might be. There's really a great sense of satisfaction knowing that you made your own tool, and making your own tool, collecting your tools and equipment in a shop like this, being safe in a shop like this. It doesn't require a lot of money to start out if you're blacksmithing. You need a forge, you need an anvil, which you can make out of a railroad track. You don't need all the fancy welding machines and plasma machines. Those will come later, but you can use a regular vise. You can buy some cheap vices on the internet, or go to Home Depot or Lowe's at a box store, and get yourself a ball peen hammer, make your own tongs, and then you're off and running. And I think you'll have a journey of satisfaction when you start creating things. I ask you, be creative, continue to do what you do. All grades, you guys are just fantastic. You show up every day, you learn something new, you fabricate, you weld, you bend sheet metal, you weld sheet metal, you solder it, you weld pipe, you pipe fit. All those things make for a good craftsman and woman beyond Assabet. But someday you develop an interest in forging, and you have a shop like this. And you make some really neat things you can sell, and people will be interested in your ability. And remember, you're never making progress until you have a corner filled with scrap and mistakes. So there's value in making mistakes. There's value in learning from that. So I ask you, just like my first set of tongs, maybe not the best looking tongs that certainly can make a nice pair of tongs now, but it was the journey, and you need to know from the beginning, the middle, and hopefully there won't be an end, because it'll keep on going, but you need to know where you came from, so never forget where you came from. Okay, Metal Fab crew, shop teacher Chief here on vacation day, got himself in the shop, gonna get out on my bike, weather's nice, the snow is melted, flowers are coming up, and it's time to get back in our shops. Okay, students, thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. Over and out, as I always say. Bye now.